Hello friend, welcome to Marine Engineering Hub. This is your narrator, Chief Engineer Ravi Gupta. Today we will talk about bunkering. In today's video, we will see what are the importance of bunkering and what are the safety check we should do in bunkering. What are the importance of bunker checklist, and after that we will see what are the pre-bunkering preparation we should do before bunkering, and then we will see the various checks we should do in order to avoid any major problem. After that we will see what are the hazards in bunkering and how we should avoid, and finally we will talk about the recent oil incident which happened in Singapore and we will see the detailed analysis. So friend, please tune till last. I guarantee after watching the video you will have a clear knowledge about bunkering, how the bunkering take place, why we take bunkering, what we should do in bunkering. Friend, those who are new to this channel, I want to tell you Marine Engineering Hub is a platform which make video which will be beneficial for your examination, interview and for your oral examination. So please do subscribe and please watch the video which you like as per your requirement from the playlist. Friend, let's start the today video of bunkering. The first question which is asked in the examination is that what is the bunkering? So basically bunkering is the operation in which the oil is transferred from one ship to the other. Why we need bunkering? So bunkering is a type of a process of refueling of a ship. It means like in a car we need to put petrol, diesel, or we need to charge electrically so that we can move from one place to other. In the same way, for moving the ship from point A to point B, we need to refuel it. The process by which we do is called bunkering. Now, the most important concept of bunkering is that whenever you are transferring the fuel, here in this picture you can see the two ship is nearby and they are transferring the fuel oil, and whenever the bunkering is being carried out, the first thing is that it should be carried out as per the rules and regulation, and second thing is that it should do not pollute the environment and it should be environmental friendly. It means that we have to follow certain checks. We have to carry out certain check before bunkering. What are that? We have to make sure that we do not cause any oil spill, fire or contamination while taking the bunkering, and second, we should follow and comply with all the rules and regulation, and we should follow the environmental protection standard. What is the environmental protection standard means here? It means that we should take the bunker in such a way that it does not pollute the environment. In order to ensure that this thing doesn't happen, we have to follow certain safety protocols. What are the safety protocols? We have to complete the bunker checklist. After that, we have to arrange SOPEP equipment, and third, we have to be aware of the potential hazard which are gonna take place like oil spill and fire risks. So basically what I mean to say is that, as you know, that first we go one by one. What is the bunker checklist? So there is a checklist before taking a bunker. What do you mean by that? Now the bunker checklist look like this. So the function of bunker checklist is that all the points which are hazard creating situation, it means that this point can create a risk to the bunker, will be written here. It is our duty to go through each point, cross check it, and after that we have to tick mark, okay, this is been checked and is proper. One more time I'll tell you, the bunker checklist is a form of a checklist which provide us step-by-step guide to ensure that all the operational procedure and safety check has been done thoroughly before taking the bunker, during the bunker and after the bunker. It means the bunker checklist is not a checklist which complete before the bunker. It is a checklist which continue before the bunker also, during the bunker also and after the bunker also. It means what? It means in bunker checklist certain point will be written which we need to check before bunker, certain point will be written which we need to check during the bunker, and after the bunker is finished we need to check certain point. So it provide us a step-by-step guidance that what we need to check in each segment, means each sequence of the operation. Okay, so that is the importance of bunker checklist. What are the key elements in bunker checklist? Let's see that. The first thing, the key element, it say that we have to make sure that the hose and connection are proper. So before, let's see what do I mean by that. Now when we need to transfer a fuel from one ship to other, we need to connect it with the hose. So we need to make sure that the hose which we have connected is proper. What we mean by proper? We mean by proper is that first thing we have to check all the nut bolts are proper. The hose condition which they have given is proper and there is no crack in it. All the connection which we have made is securely, and after that we have to make sure the gasket which we are putting here is in good condition. Okay, so that is mean by the thing. After that we have to confirm the fuel quality and quantity specification. We have to make sure that the communication and the emergency response readiness is proper. What do you mean communication? Communication means that whenever we are transferring a fuel oil from one ship to other, now suppose this is a ship and this is a B ship. Now whenever you are transferring oil from A to B, you have to make sure that you are communicating properly and thoroughly, so that in any case of mishap, in any case of any problem, you have a switch they have provided. They will provide you a emergency switch, okay, which you can put it off and it will stop the bunker. So basically what is that? It is basically what happens, that they will provide a switch which have a directly controlled with the motor, and if there is any spillage or leakage, you can stop it. That is only possible by proper communication. Emergency response readiness means that you should have an arrangement such that you can fight the risk of oil pollution, spill and contamination. After that you have to make sure that the fuel quantity and quality which we are taking is proper. This you can ensure by using the drip quality analysis, and you have to monitor whole process during the bunkering. So now let's see step by step what we need to do before bunker, after bunker and during the bunker. So first start with the before bunker. Now if you are going to take a bunker, you have to make sure this point must be checked. The first thing you have to check that all the tank. Now suppose you are taking bunker in one port and one starboard, like this is the cross-sectional view. This is one port and this is one starboard of a bunker tank, and suppose this is the overflow tank. Now you know, first ensure that all the valve of this bunker tank, means when suppose you are taking a bunker of this tank and this tank, you have to make sure all the inlet and outlet valve of these tanks are closed. After that you have to make sure that your overflow tank is empty. This is overflow tank and this should be empty, because it's have a connection that if any overflow occur, it will come from here to overflow tank. So your overflow tank should be empty, your tank should be fully closed. After that you have to check your high level alarm. Normally what happen, each tank, now each bunker tank is provided with this type of alarm. This alarm generally provide whenever your tank level is reached 90%, or sometime in some setting it will be 85%. It depends upon the company requirement. Now you have to make sure that your alarm is properly functioning. So before taking the bunker, you have to try out all the alarm, and if in order to avoid any problem, you also click fixtures so that you can prove it that you have tried out. After that you have to check the sounding tape. You should have two sounding tape with clear marking so that it indicate proper sounding. After that you have to make sure that a sounding pipe which you have is not clogged, so that you can receive proper sounding during the bunker. One more thing I want to tell you, that suppose you are starting to take bunker in one port. This is suppose one port and this is one starboard. Now suppose you started to take bunker in one port. Okay, so you don't only take sounding of only one port. Whenever you start to take a bunker in one port, first you initially take sounding of one port to ensure that you are receiving oil. After that, also check the sounding of all the other tank, so that to ensure that your bunker valve is not leaking, and second, you are not receiving unnecessary oil in the other tank, causing unwanted contamination. Because sometimes the bunker valve give away during the bunker, and you may have a bunker contamination. To avoid that, you also make sure that when you start to receive bunker, you not only take the sounding of that tank only, you also take the sounding of all the other tank in which you don't taking bunker, to ensure that there is no contamination. After that, any filter in the line need to be checked, and the hose should be pressure tested. Normally the bunker line is tested 6 monthly, 1 yearly, depending on the company requirement. And you have to also make sure that whatever connection you are making, like suppose this bunker line, the bunker line which is normally there is normally pressure tested 1 yearly. In company requirement is 6 monthly, then they will do 6 monthly as per the SMS. So this test should be thorough, proper, and it should be recorded in the oil record book. After that, the hose which you are getting connected, you have to make sure that it is having no crack, nothing, and is proper. So the major check we need to do is that first is that you should have try out the high level alarm. Second, your overflow tank should be empty. Third, your all the valve of the overflow tank and any other tank should be closed for, and you should stop the fuel oil transfer pump. And then you should make sure that your sounding tape is clean and sounding pipe is not clogged. After that, the most important thing is that you have to arrange SOPEP equipment near the bunkering point. What do I mean by that? Now suppose you are taking bunker here. Okay, now this is the bunker point, so you should keep here or here your SOPEP equipment. SOPEP equipment is what we will talk about in later slide. After that, you should also keep a portable fire extinguisher here, and you should also keep 2 fire hose. And if you have a foam applicator or DCP, you should point it toward a bunkering station. So this thing you should also do before bunkering. What thing I have told you? First is that you should have a SOPEP equipment nearby. You have a portable fire extinguisher nearby, and if you have a DCP or foam, depending on type of ship, you should point it toward a bunkering station. Third thing and most important thing is that you should make sure that all the scupper near the bunkering station is closed. Your dip tray, this is a dip tray, should be closed. All the dip tray of the bunker station should be closed. This you need to make sure before taking the bunker. Now whenever you are making a hose connection, at that time there is 2 type where you can take the sample. This sample which you are taking is basically hold the importance that it provide us that what type of fuel you are receiving, and whether it is within the spec as per the company regulation and as per the IMO regulation or not. So if your bunker manifold is provided with this type of valve arrangement, then you can directly put the sample collecting bottle, and you can directly take by continuous drip sample opening the valve. If not, then you have to use this. So where you will put this? You will put this here, in between here. Okay, and after that the oil will flow during the bunker from here. The oil is flowing from here. Okay, and here is a hole is provided, and through this hole the oil will go down and will come down here. Okay, and you have to put this here, and you can adjust the flow by this valve. So this is called drip sample collection flange. So basically drip by drip we will collect the sample throughout the bunkering, so that we can make sure that what type of fuel we are receiving, we can send it to the sample analysis lab to verify. Now there is a ship source checklist which you need to make sure before putting two ships with each other to ensure that all the rules and regulations have been followed. After that, as I have told you, the most important thing is that the bunkering operation, don't take it in a casual way that it is a bunkering operation, only fuel need to transfer, because recently we have suffered a major bunker pollution in a Singapore area, which we'll talk about in the slide. So before taking the bunker, you should follow all the bunker checklist, pre-bunker checklist, which I have told you. Now let's talk about doing the bunker. Now whenever you are taking a bunker, doing the bunker, you have to make sure that when you are taking the fuel oil, there should not be too much vibration in the line. If there is too much vibration in the line, it means there is a air in the line, which you should avoid. Okay, because too much vibration will cause cappuccino effect and it may lead to the wrong sounding. After that, during the bunkering, you should take sounding time to time in order to ensure that you are receiving bunker in a proper tank, and in every 30 minutes you should also check the other tank to ensure you are not receiving oil in the other tank. You have to check the drip tray and all the scrubber properly, and you have to be in a close communication during the bunker. This thing you have to do when you are taking the bunker. Now let's talk about the hazard which are in the bunkering. So hazard in the bunkering are basically three. First is oil spill, second is fire hazard, and third is contamination. Oil spill is caused if there is a leak. How the leak can happen? Now suppose if the flange, this flange is leaking and suddenly the flange cover give away, then in that case the oil may leak like this and it's very hard to control and oil spill can occur. So in order to counteract with that, we have a SOPEP equipment which we need to place it near board, and we have to have a trained crew to know what action they should take. So as you can see in this diagram, here is the oil spill which has caused during the bunker, and this is the rift which is the oil collecting part, which they are collecting the oil so that to prevent major oil spill. So what is the SOPEP equipment? So SOPEP equipment is basically shipboard oil pollution emergency plan, in which there are certain equipment which we need to place near the bunker station so that if the oil pollution occur, we can quickly contaminate it, we can contain it within the point. So this equipment consists of basically Wilden pump in order to transfer the oil, broom in order to collect by putting the sawdust so that to prevent the transfer, absorbent pad, scoop, bucket, oil spill dispersion, rubber boots, and oil drum. So these are the equipment which is contained in the SOPEP locker, which you need to place near the bunkering station. As I told you, you need to keep it here, the SOPEP equipment, in order to make sure that if anything happen, you can take quickly action. And the third important thing is that you should have a most thing that you should have a crew which is properly trained, who should know what action need to be do in a oil pollution. Now SOPEP is what, as I told you, it is a emergency plan which is activated in a case of a oil pollution. The component are basically this, as you can see. Apart from that, it also consists of emergency contact list, equipment inventory, that how much oil equipment are provided, and what procedure we need to follow in case of a oil pollution in order to mitigate the environmental impact. So now we know if we have oil spill, what action we will do. Now second hazard is fire. Suppose if how the fire will happen, because bunkering is a fuel transfer operation, so there is a chance of a fire hazard. In order to prevent the fire hazard, we should have a fire watch. Who will carry the fire watch? The AB and the engine personnel who are not directly involved in the bunker operation, they should carry out a fire round in the engine room and in the deck in order to ensure that proper operation is been carried out. The second thing, as I have told you before, that you should also keep one portable fire extinguisher nearby. Apart from that, you should make sure that the mouth of the foam monitor or DCP should be directed near the bunker station. And third is that you should have at least 2 hose ready in order to fight the fire. It should not be charged, it should be ready so that you can start the fire pump, emergency fire pump, and you can fight the fire if required. So these are the things you should do in case of a fire hazard. Now third risk is the contamination. How the contamination can happen? So contamination basically can happen if there is improper fuel given by the bunker barge. This you can only prove by carrying out the proper sampling. It means that suppose you are taking a bunker. Now suppose you are taking a bunker in a one port. Okay, you are taking a bunker in a one port and they have mixed the sludge in it. How you can prove? You can only prove it by continuous drip sample analysis. What is continuous drip sample analysis? Like this, you have to take the sample, and as during the bunker operation you have taken the sample drop by drop here or here. This you will send to the lab, and lab will reflect the amount of sludge content, the amount of sulfur content, or amount of sediment, and this you can give it to company and they will fight against the bunker delivery barge. So the contamination can be fight by the company, but you have to collect the sample properly and send it to the lab. How it will affect the engine? Basically, if you have received a fuel which have a high sludge content, it will choke the purifier, it will clog the fuel oil injector, and in some cases it will causes the erosion in the liner. So it can affect the overall engine performance. In order to avoid that, we have to make sure that there is no contamination. The second form of contamination is that suppose you are only about to take bunker in one port. In one starboard there is some fuel. Okay, there is some fuel in the one starboard, and you don't need to take any bunker in one starboard, but because the bunker valve is leaking and some oil get transferred here also. This type of contamination can only be avoided if you are taking proper sounding throughout the bunkering operation of all tank from time to time. As I told you before, you take sounding of the tank where you are taking bunker every 15 minutes and the other tank in every half an hour in order to avoid any this thing. As I also told you, the fire hazard. The fire hazard, which is basically look like this, if is not controlled in proper way, it may take place in such a way that it can take the life. So you should make sure that you are carrying out the proper fire watch. You have kept the portable fire extinguisher, and you have kept 2 fire hose ready and directed the foam monitor or DCP near the bunker station. Now, as I told you whole thing, now let's sum up everything. So pre-bunkering check need to be make sure by checklist. In order, we should check the equipment, we should check the communication, and we should check the alarms. During the bunkering, you should make sure that you are properly transferring the fuel from one point to other point without any leakage. You don't have any irregular sounding in other tanks, and your proper communication, and you have a emergency readiness, preparedness in ready condition. After bunkering, you have to make sure that the sample which have been collected is properly transferred and documented and then given to the lab. You have to make sure the quantity which you have received is matching with the BDN and everything. Now, as you know, there is recently an oil spill have taken place in Singapore. This incident video has gone viral in the YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, which you can see if you type just oil spill incident in Singapore. Now you will see that there is an oil spill which have taken place in Singapore port. Okay, so how it has happened? It has happened because of a equipment malfunction, and procedural lapse. What do you mean by procedural lapse? It means that a crew has not familiarized and don't know what action need to be taken if such incident happen. The second thing is that the equipment failure can happen. Whatever equipment failure, suppose the bursting of hose or disconnection of hose while too much pressure in the hose, back pressure in the hose, like this incident can also lead to this incident. So in order to avoid that, this we have to follow a bunker checklist thoroughly. After that, the problem with this spill is that if suppose an oil spill occur in your ship, try to contain it within your ship. If a single drop of oil go outside the ship and is visible, in that case you may be subjected to inspection, unwanted PSC inspection, you may be subjected to interviews to the PSC personnel, flag state authority, and you have to suffer a lot. So try to avoid that by only maintaining proper checklist and also try to contain it within your ship. So the incident which take place in the Singapore, it is basically a Bahamas flag vessel, bulk carrier, and a licensed bulker tanker. Means the incident take place in between these two ships, and it happened because of a possible malfunction and procedural lapse. And the Singapore authority, because it's a very effective authority, Singapore, lot of ships taking bunker, they have a emergency response readiness. Port authority have also emergency response readiness condition, so they have reacted in very fast and efficient way, and they have within 10 minutes they have deployed the chemical dispersant so that they have avoid this major spill to aggravate and to reach to the shore, and they have contained it within the point. And after that, they have not affected the Singapore traffic. So friend, in today's video we have learned what is the importance of bunkering, what are the hazards in bunkering, and what you should do during the bunkering. If you think I have given you something in this video, then please do subscribe, please share, and please like the video. Friend, those who want this type of video before releasing and those who want to interact with me, you can join the membership which we are offering in a bare minimum less than $1. Just see and join, and you can have an interaction with me, ask a question, I can answer. Thank you friend, have a good day.